You know that feeling when you walk into a packed mall or a crowded concert, and instead of feeling alive, you feel like the walls are closing in? While everyone else is pushing forward or laughing in the middle of the noise, you are already scanning for the nearest exit. You count the minutes until you can return to your own space, away from the sounds, the smells, and the heavy presence of other people. Society might label this as antisocial or anxious, but science tells a different story. Your brain is simply wired with higher sensitivity. Today, we are breaking down the psychology of people who hate crowded places, the ones who do not see a celebration, but a sensory overload. Here's the thing. For most people, a crowd fades into the background. Their brain filters out unnecessary information automatically. But for people who dislike crowds, that filter is weaker. Psychologists call this sensory gating. Instead of blocking excess input, your brain lets everything in at once. Every sound, movement, and touch competes for attention. This overload pushes the brain out of logical processing and into survival mode. The nervous system reacts as if danger is present. You are not just uncomfortable. Your body believes it needs to escape. It is not only about noise, it is also about personal space. Every person has an invisible comfort zone around their body. For people sensitive to crowds, this space is larger and more reactive. When strangers enter it, the brain triggers a stress response. This reaction is deeply rooted in evolution. Being surrounded by unfamiliar people once meant risk. In modern life, this wiring has not disappeared. A crowded subway or busy street can feel like a biological threat rather than a neutral environment. Another factor is social overstimulation. Crowds are chaotic and unpredictable. You cannot control how close people stand, how loud they speak, or what will happen next. For people who feel safest when they can manage their environment, this lack of control is exhausting. Your brain stays alert, constantly tracking movement and behavior. This is why time spent in crowds often leads to deep physical and mental fatigue. Your mind is working much harder than it appears. There is also a strong link to empathy. Highly empathetic people absorb emotional signals from others. In a crowd, this becomes overwhelming. Stress, frustration, and urgency spread quickly. You may pick up on many emotional states at once, even without direct interaction. This emotional input blurs your own feelings and drains your energy. Avoiding crowds is not about disliking people. It is about protecting emotional balance. In some cases, fear of crowds is connected to past trauma or anxiety disorders. When a crowd feels associated with danger or loss of control, the brain treats it as a trigger. But for many people, crowd avoidance is simply a preference for low stimulation. They do not need noise or numbers to feel alive. Meaning comes from calm spaces, quiet conversations, and environments where the nervous system can rest. So if you are the person who leaves early or seeks the quiet corner, stop apologizing. You are not weak. You are tuned to a more sensitive frequency. You notice details and tension that others ignore. Tell me in the comments, what is one place you avoid because of crowds?